Hello, everybody. It's Valerie Zimri with Future Time. For the moment, we are on the Chain 2020. It's the largest blockchain educational event. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest for you. Hello, Alex.
Hello,
Pleasure to meet you. Can
nice to
you
meet
please
you too.
tell us a little bit about yourself? What are you doing?
What we're doing, we are shooting a documentary around the world, a blockchain documentary, and we're traveling in different countries, different continents, trying to get as much and more rich information about what is blockchain, and try to deliver to the massive public the way they have the proper information to choose their path, basically.
To understand what is the
To
industry?
understand what is the industry, because as you're aware, um, if you walk on the streets and you start questioning people what is blockchain and blah blah blah, then there is 90% of the population has no clue. And as you know, to adopt something like a new technology like we used to adopt internet or many others through history, you have to have the proper information.
So you want to doing like more understandable for the people who even didn't imagine how to use the crypto, how what is the blockchain about the whole.
Exactly.
Is it great? Can I ask you? This is your first documental filming about the film about the blockchain.
Yes, it is.
And did you before which kind of film you used to do?
Movies.
Movies.
Yeah.
Great. So is it interesting? Do you have already the name of this documental film? What you gonna do?
Yes.
You have a chance to introduce right now, or you want to doing like a secret and
I
then it's
have to
gonna be
keep it. I
all
prefer to
right.
keep it low.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be even better, I think, for your side, and we will be so excited to see it. When did you start this process?
Year ago. Oh, the process starts a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
Pre-productions and things. The idea begins a couple of years ago. We started shooting from a year from now,
Hmm.
and it's been all this year long. All the 19 has been shooting, and we already started 2020, and we keep going.
And when did you plan to finish?
2020.
So we can to expect this film already very
Yes.
very soon. We are really excited to see it. So actually, I would like to ask you, as we already know, you already do like around more than 100 kilometers of the filming of the shooting. Did you like what you can to see already right now? The process, the how it's looking from
Sorry.
your opinion.
What I see so
Yeah,
far from about the ecosystem about blockchain.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
I mean.
absolutely amazed. Because honestly, when I dive in this ecosystem and the blockchain
Hmm.
world, I wasn't really related with. I know a little bit about the cryptos and things, but really wasn't my major thing. But when you start diving on blockchain and all this industry, you're as I told you, I realized that it wasn't not much more information, like pr- proper information. And but after a while, when you spend so much time meeting interesting people, having the opportunity to have really challenging people in the industry, you realize that that is absolutely something is it's not going to be a future, it's a present right
Yes,
now.
it's a present,
It's a
and
present.
we cannot expect it in the future.
And
It's
if
also
you're,
gonna be our future, I
yeah,
think so, for sure. And what are you think actually about the blockchain from your opinion? How it's working right now? That what is working in the crypto industry, in the crypto party, what we have, what, how it's actually affect.
okay. Uh, to the to the system to the industry, I mean, it's a basic thing. Okay, we don't understand crypto without having a blockchain.
Hmm.
So makes totally sense that say one without the other, it's not making sense.
Hmm.
For the massive public, um, what we find all through the, for example, through the interviews and through our trips, what we find is that people don't really understand yet what it's about. Because when you talk about blockchain, and as you're aware, we have thousand use cases.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna use some of the guys that we interviewed from IBM. Jerry Cuomo. You might know him.
Yeah.
And I love that phrase. He always says, and he's always on camera. In fact, he says, blockchain is not only cryptocurrency. It's just one use. We got thousand cases, use cases with blockchain, and cryptocurrency is just one. But you know what? In our experience, we saw and we realize that no matter what use case you touch, they all have some crypto thing in common. And one point, they get related with cryptocurrencies. But the most interesting thing is that public had to see, I think, I think that is what they need to see. They need to see that cryptocurrency is not just an investment way. It's one uh, extra way to do regular transactions to buy whatever you need. We need, like, I don't know, just a spending machine, just to buy something in the cafeteria or whatever. So right now, the perspective of people who is not really aware of how it works is much more about, like, okay, this is something like some kind of asset that you can invest, or but they don't really get the point that we are talking about, the decentralized information, decentralized open source data are really dis- let's, let's call it disruptive. They like to call it disruptive. So, and I think it's a disruption,
Yeah.
and probably it's not going to be just a, the only system. I think it's gonna they're gonna match together with what we got. Now we got a really centralized way
Hmm.
to proceed, and this is totally decentralized. I don't think it's going to be only decentralized. I think at one point in the future, in the short future, they will mix together and it will go to a balance, an equal balance, because both things has good things and both things has things that are not really like the best.
And I think is that what actually you are doing for the people who didn't know about that? Is it a problem because even they don't know how to use the cryptocurrency for what it is that what we can to show us in your interview?
Exactly.
Amazing. So it's actually very interesting what you are doing. I think you are doing better for our planet. And you
Thanks for
know
that.
what? I would like to actually ask you because as I know, you're traveling a lot.
Yes.
You're visiting a lot of conferences, right?
Right.
Which conferences you're gonna visit in this year? One of the important one, what you want, and why?
You got me on that because I'm really bad on names. So yes, you got me on that. Uh, we're here in 2020. We're flying through Mexico
Yeah.
in a couple of days. Um, then we have to get back to. I got some people over in next, but I'm too bad on names. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna be here in the Hong Kong as well in the Blockchain Week 2020?
That is in April, isn't it?
March.
In March.
In March. March.
In March.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we might have the opportunity to have here to be here. I'm not sure because I got my team take care of all the agenda, and it's we have a kind of good demand of they asking to be in different ones, but we cannot make it to every event because sometimes events are cool to find some people that you can interview and stuff, but we're trying to get some really use cases when we go to the place. Otherwise, we'll be shooting for years.
Hmm.
Imagine, I mean, it's events every 2 weeks. We have an event, international event somewhere. So
So actually, what you are doing in this Chain 2020 today, as I know you did already a lot of interviews with the speakers, which you did the coolest interview today, which is interesting you, which you are touching your heart.
through the whole process, I mean, let me think. That's a good question. I love it. That's a good. Oh well, you know how many people we interview already. Um,
I even
I
couldn't
like.
imagine.
I have. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for that. As I told you, I'm too bad with names. We did interview this lady from Canada. She's an awesome. She was awesome. She was an awesome person, and she was an awesome professional too. I kindly remember her when because we've been through a lot of interviews, and she eventually was so many people interested.
You
So
cannot be like in 100 places in one
yeah,
moment.
and like I had the opportunity to be with Adam Beck, Jerry Cuomo, which is an amazing guy. Um, I know like I wish I could have give you all the names because I'm too bad with that. But
But in this conference, you find that what you already find that what you're looking for, or you expect something more and something special.
no, no, no. In fact, I think it's
What are you thinking about the change 2020?
I like it. I like it. I really like it. We had some really interesting interviews this during this morning. We had a plan for a few more during the day,
Hmm.
and we already had a good good feedback from the people who was in camera today. Really open, really clear way to explain how everything works. We love it. In fact, we love it. That's pretty good.
Amazing. This is really, really amazing, and I'm happy. I also what I can to say about this conference. Here's a lot of interesting people. Is it true? So actually, about the maybe I want to ask you when you will finish this filming. You have already idea what you're gonna do in the future.
What you gonna?
What you're gonna doing in the future? You have some ideas, or you have already plans what you are preparing for.
Related with this? Related with blockchain?
About, I don't know. I just ask
Well, I
about
got a few.
yourself.
I got a couple projects more. I got a couple projects already on my table. They are waiting
Uh-huh.
to
But you
be
are
started.
working right now only on the filming, or you have some couple of projects which you are working for as
Well,
well?
I'm working in. I'm most of the time
You
I'm filming.
always concentrate,
Yeah, I'm
concentrating.
concentrated on that, but I'm also concentrated in communication and marketing.
Hmm.
So I we also work for commercials for companies like publicity and things. So
Hmm.
and I have a few projects going on already.
Amazing. Well, I can only say good luck in your future projects. Of course, we wishing you only success in this filming, and we are exciting to see it what you are doing because really it's really important for the people to understand what is the blockchain and
Right.
documentary film. It can help us a lot. Help not only for the experts, and also for the people who
For
didn't know
everybody.
about nothing. So I would like to, I think we should finish, and I would like to thank you for the interview. I would
Thanks
like
to
to
you.
thanks for your time. You're giving me really good emotions and feelings. You're motivating me a
It's
little bit
been my
about the blockchain.
pleasure.
My
It's been
pleasure
my
as well.
pleasure. Thank you very
So
much.
guys, thank you so much. It was Valerie Zimireva, Future Time, and Alex. Goodbye. See you
Yes.
soon.